I am in RAK Yard.
Yes.
So exciting. This is Shu, owner of Dope Pizza. We are right off Saginaw Avenue. If you know where RAK Brewery is, we are attached to that, brand new, getting ready to open, and a new opportunity for you coming.
Absolutely.
But let's talk about the current business that you have, which is the food truck, Dope Pizza. Mm-hmm. Tell me how you came about to starting a food truck and doing pizzas.
Yeah, so we'll start with the food truck. I was a general manager of a pizzeria in Bethesda.
Okay.
And I think I just kind of outgrew my shell there. And I had this lovely couple come in, and I was kind of, they looked a little lost in the dining room, and I was like, can I help you with something? And they were like, well, my brother has a pizza oven in his backyard, and we want to throw a bar mitzvah for our son, and we were wondering if we could commission your staff to come out and cook pizzas on site. I was like, well, it's not really something that we do, but I think that's something I can do for you. So I had done some event work with my wife. We were doing events and catering for a little while on the side, and I was like, you know what, I can do this for them. So I shortly quit that job, got a serving position, and spent the next few months just kind of figuring out how I was going to cater a bar mitzvah for 150 people. And then we went ahead and did it, and it was, not my best work, but at the end of the day, the client was super happy. And we've been going to their house every year now and doing a kickoff awards for the Moxie Awards. So we do that every year. We've actually got it coming up in April as well. So
that's very cool. So how long ago was that?
That was back in 2022.
Okay.
2022, 2021, somewhere around
So they already had the pizza oven at their home?
Correct.
And
and so we didn't have a unit.
Right.
So, it was just a lot of practice. And then we executed, and I figured, you know what, I think this is something that I could do. So then it was just a matter of doing a lot of research and finding out, at first it was going to be using portable ovens and then setting up a table setup. And I was like, well, knowing myself, I think I'd be very annoyed with that very quickly. And so I was like, you know what, I need something that's a little more permanent in a sense. And then it just grew to something that, came with a bigger budget at the end of the day. But no, we're glad we went the route we did, and it seemed to work out one way or another.
Well, I know it's very popular. There aren't many places doing pizza the way you guys do it in Frederick, which is great. So you're not in a saturated kind of market where you're competing for that. But the food truck industry is pretty saturated now in Frederick. There's a lot of food trucks, which is awesome for us. Not so great when you're trying to book events and be out and doing all of that, and you're kind of beholden to event people. But you did get a space here pretty permanently outside, right? On what street is that? That is South.
That would be Saginaw Avenue.
That's Saginaw, right? And so then this opportunity came with RAK Yard. And you are now going to be permanently installed with a commercial kitchen inside RAK Yard, but you're expanding from just pizza.
Yes, we are.
Nice.
So I've opened up a few pizzerias in the past, managed a bunch, and just really, pizza is one of those foods, from a business standpoint, it's one of the most consumed foods that we eat as Americans. But just aside from that, I mean, it's one of those perfect foods, right? It's got the perfect balance of fat, acid, salt, and you can customize
handheld,
it. Exactly.
It's easy, portable.
And it's an equalizer, It doesn't matter what class or what where you're at, anyone can enjoy a good slice of pizza, right? And to me, there's no such thing as a wrong pizza, right?
Correct.
I think when you're getting a slice at maybe a lower end shop or something very high end and gourmet, there's a place for each of those.
Sure,
we just kind of found our niche, and that's kind of where Dope Pizza came from, right? Because I didn't kind of find the kind of pizza that I wanted in my area. I actually come from Montgomery County.
We still love you. It's okay.
No. Well, I would love to move to Frederick in the next couple of years. But the reason we call it Dope Pizza is because it's not really. Well, let's go back to the DOP, the stamp, the Denominazione di Origine Protetta, which is a stamp given from goods that specialize in regions that are authenticated for making those goods, right? So just as you'd see champagne from France can only be champagne if it comes from Champagne, it's the same deal.
Nice.
And so that's where the DOP came from.
I did not know that.
But the reason it's not DOP or DOP and the reason it is dope is because while we take that nod to tradition, we kind of put our own spin on things and kind of redefine what that is to us. So it's not a DOP pizza, it's just a dope pizza.
There you go.
But, you know, coming from pizza, I mean, I've been classically trained in Italian cooking for over 15 years now. Cut a lot of my teeth in DC, working under chefs and honing my skill and kind of finding my identity in that way. And I think pizza fit that very naturally, but now it's, you know, I'm ready to showcase so much more that that I'm able and willing to do and still put that dope spin on it.
I love it. Well, we can't wait to come taste the full menu, and you're not far away.
Absolutely.
The difference between when I was here interviewing Joe and Troyce Gatewood a couple weeks ago to now is extraordinary. And I know for them it probably feels snail's pace, but it's going to be an amazing venue that can hold several hundred people.
Yeah.
And it's going to mean you're going to be, you know, running on ice for a while. How are you looking at with staffing and all of that? Do you need people, or you got a staff ready to go?
So staffing was actually surprisingly easy. I think we were able to really find the entire team in a matter of a week. We had a few people lined up just from word of mouth, which was super awesome. You know, staffing for the food truck is tricky. Not everyone necessarily wants to work in a food truck.
Right.
And I have to admit, I have a standard that I like to operate under.
We love that,
and you know, having a kitchen will just make that so much easier. But no, we were blessed in finding our staff pretty quickly. Training is one of the reasons I love being a chef, is having that opportunity to teach. So I'm very much looking forward to that. But yeah, no, it's all coming together pretty quickly. You know, like I said, I've opened a few pizzerias before, always at a managerial level. And so I kind of understand, well, what do we need? Who needs to be in what place to make sure this runs efficiently? I mean, in Bethesda, we had about 25 people on payroll, all in all, front of the house, back of the house. And I mean, we were cranking out about 2,000 pizzas a week.
Whoa.
So, and you know, 300 of that would be on a Friday night.
Yeah, exactly. So, now, do you feel like you guys are going to be doing carry out and all of that stuff too, or really just catering to the people who are here at RAK?
No, absolutely. I mean, I think naturally in the pizza game, carry out is very much a part of it. We are going to have a really cool pickup window right in the front as well. So, you know, if you have dogs, kids, or you know, you just want to enjoy the weather outside, we can serve you as well.
Love it.
So, you know, it's kind of cute because it's kind of keeping that food truck aspect of it alive, but you know, going back to our roots. But then also, we're looking to, you know, not just serve everyone here on the RAK Yard, but also in the RAK Lounge.
Of course.
And then, you know, we're really leaning into doing private events over there in the lounge. So we've got a full expanded catering menu and all of that.
Fantastic. Speaking of the food truck, what happens now? Are you still going to be utilizing it for events and stuff like that, so that you can still be out there?
Yeah, absolutely. Nice. You know, there's a bunch of great events downtown that we love being a part of. Alive at 5 is always a super fun event. But also we're just booking like crazy for private events. So we've got weddings and rehearsal dinners and all sorts of stuff lined up for this year and next.
Which is phenomenal. I think that's really great, and it's a great way to stay out in the public and promoting and advertising.
Exactly. We'd like to think of like a satellite location to start bringing bring people in.
What's your best-selling pizza right now?
You know, it's such a hard question, and I love that, right?
I love it too.
Because like, I mean, it's so even across the board. So honestly, one of the things when we first opened, and it killed me, was like pepperoni pizza was at the top of the list.
God.
Always.
I think that's people's like entry level. Well, they want to try it out. They want to make sure the crust is good. I'm a crust girl, so I always want to make. And then you start to go, okay, well, if that's good, then
and you know, I think of it the same way. Usually, I can tell by what someone orders if it's their first time. So. But no, that's cool, because now it's like I can't even say it is pepperoni anymore, which is good. You know, one of my goals. So I'm super happy about that.
You're doing well there. So can people, I know you guys are online on socials and stuff like that too, and they can find out where the food truck is and keep up to date with what's happening here. Awesome.
Absolutely.
That's excellent.
At dopepizza.co. not .com.
Okay,
.com
I'll make
will
sure
take
that's
you.
on screen and it won't be a typo when you see that. This is Shu. You're going to see a lot more of him if you come over to RAK Yard as soon as it's open. We're going to get some great food. In the meantime, you can see the food truck at RAK Brewery right on the street and get a little taste of what's to come here very soon. We thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for having me. This was super fun.